Nebraska is 2-0 for the first time since 2016. And this week, the Northern Iowa Panthers come to town to try to get one of the biggest upsets in their school's history. So in today's video, I'm going to preview that matchup. What do the Panthers have as a team? Is there a chance that they could upset Nebraska? And then what are my keys to the game for the Huskers? So really quick, we have a lot to talk about this game preview. If you're pumped up about Saturday, I know I am. Hit that like button. And hey, if you're new to the channel or just a returning viewer, make sure to subscribe. I post daily Nebraska football content. Nobody else does that on Husker YouTube. So if you're a diehard fan of this program and you don't want to miss anything related to your team, hit that subscribe button. You will not regret it. But without further ado, let's get into it, going over my game preview. The Nebraska Cornhuskers versus Northern Iowa, the Panthers. So let's start this off talking about Northern Iowa, what they bring to the table. Now they're entering this game 2-0 as well. 2 FCS victories early on in the season. Their head coach is Mark Farley, a guy who's been there for 20 plus years. And really, when you look at their roster and you look at their coaching staff, they're very defensive minded. We'll get to that and how that could potentially give Nebraska some troubles. But last year, the Panthers went 6-5. Nothing too crazy, but they've been known to churn out NFL talent time and time again. So a team definitely has talent and they have a lot of upside from an FCS team. But let's get to their offense and some of the key players for the Panthers. So their quarterback one goes by the name of Aiden Dunn, pro-style guy, really doesn't run the ball too much. Now, if you look at his stats, in his first 2 games, he's only threw for a combined 200 yards and only 50% through the air. So watching him on film, not very good. Nothing about him impresses you. Nothing about him is an X factor. Their passing attack really struggles. It reminds me a lot of Iowa's offensive philosophy that really they're not going to try to pass. They're going to try to run. Let's talk about the running back because honestly, pretty darn good for an FCS squad. Now, their main running back one is Ty Edwards. Over the first 2 weeks of the year, he's ran for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and get this, he's averaging 10 yards a carry. So watching Ty Edwards on film, honestly, he's a dog. He should be in Power 5 football right now. He has a lethal stiff arm that he goes back to time and time again. He has a truck move. And also, get this, he's listed at 6'4". Now, when was the last time Nebraska went up against a running back who was that tall, was that big? So Ty Edwards, the definition of a bruiser running back, and he is looking to have a good day if the Panthers have a chance with this ball game. They also have a guy by the name of Amari Pisek in that running back room, basically the yin to Ty Edwards' yang. He basically more of a receiving threat, elusive back. Also a really good player, has had over 100 yards in the first 2 weeks. And fun fact about him, he's from Nebraska, but actually played high school ball in Kansas. So honestly, the running back room's pretty good for an FCS squad. The game plan is clear. They're going to try to run this football. And again, we'll get to how we can possibly stop that. The receiving core, nothing crazy. 2 guys to watch out for. Sergio Moranci, he's 6'3", had a touchdown catch last week. And then they also have Lane Pryor, big body tight end, also 6'4". So their receiver core, not good. Their quarterback play, not good. It's going to come down to stopping the running attack. Talking about their trenches, decent for an offensive or decent for an FCS team. But once again, Nebraska's D-line, one of the best in the country. We're going to dominate that aspect of the ball game. So, recapping their offense in general, they have a good rushing attack for an FCS squad. Look at this statistic. Nebraska, over the first 2 weeks of the year, they've gave up a average of 36 rushing yards a game. That ranks 4th best in America. Do we really think an FCS squad is going to walk in Memorial and have a field day running? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. So this is a game that if Nebraska shuts down the rushing attack, which I expect them to do, we could be in the mix for a shutout. I hope that happens. So that's their offense. Nothing crazy. Just watch out for their running backs. Let's talk about their defense because this is a better unit than their offense. Of course, again, they have a defensive-minded head coach. They've had a lot of really talented defensive players go to the NFL over the last couple of years. Shout out Omar Brown, former Nebraska Blackshirt, now in the league. He was formerly with Northern Iowa. So they've had some good players transfer out or go to the league. let's talk about their defense. So defensive line, pretty good for FCS football. Had 5 sacks in 2 games. They're led by Carter Hewitt and Zach Meemert, who both had a combined 3.5 sacks. So pretty good rushing to the quarterback. Pretty good in the run-stopping aspect. Again, nothing crazy to write home about. And then, honestly, once again, good linebacker core, good secondary for an FCS team. They're led by Jonathan Cabral-Martin in that secondary, who's a great tackler, and Ben Balkin at that linebacker core. But this is a common theme for this week. They have some talent for an FCS squad, but at the end of the day, it's an FCS squad. Nothing here blows me away. There's not a guy who I'm saying, oh my goodness, he's phenomenal on their defense. I will say, I watched them on film a little bit from their week 1 game. They're very well in the tackling department. Everybody on their team could tackle. On their D-line, linebacker core, and secondary. They might shut down Nebraska's rushing attack just a little bit. But we should have a field day passing the football if we choose to do so. But once again, this is an FCS squad. This is not an upset alert type of game. Nebraska should dominate. Now, if we played a team like North Dakota State, Idaho, Montana, I would be a little more nervous, but Northern Iowa, not so much. All right, let's get to my keys to the game for Nebraska, not only to win, but dominate versus the Panthers. Once again, night game at Memorial, it's going to be nuts, going to be 90,000. Go out there and support and have a good time. But let's get to my keys to the game. Number 1, run the football. That's not necessarily the key for this game specifically, but that's going to be the key for literally every game this year. Okay, you've got to let every single running back on Nebraska's roster get an opportunity. I want to see Dowdle get opportunities, Ramir, Emmett, Gabe. I want to see Quentin Ive get carries. So literally every running back, they need to get chances. That can really give Matt Rhule a good perspective about who should be our starter going forward into Big Ten play. I think it's going to be Dowdle and Ramir like it has been, but I like to see EJ and Gabe get another opportunity. So that's the first thing. Run the football, establish that. Second thing, shut down their rushing attack for Northern Iowa. Listen, that's their only form of offense. They don't trust their quarterback. They don't trust the receivers. If you can shut down their rushing attack like we have done in week 1 and week 2, it's over. Like we're in shutout territory. So huge part of the ball game. D-line and the linebackers need to step up for Nebraska. Number 3, play clean. Not only should you not have any turnovers in this ball game. I'm looking at you, Dante Dowdle. I know you fumbled in week 1. I'm looking at you, Raiola. He had a couple throws versus Colorado that maybe should have been picked off. No turnovers. First things first. But the second thing, when I say play clean, no penalties. Specifically on that offensive line, no holding penalties, no blocking the backs. Let's play clean. Let's execute at a high level, because when we start playing Big Ten opponents, they're going to start to take advantage of that. We got to play clean. Number 4, key to the game, clear the freaking bench. I want to see Kalen play. I want to see Danny Kalen get some snaps. I want to see true freshmen like Keona Davis, Willis McGahee, Larry Tarver, even a guy like Bly Hill. He hasn't got too many reps. I want to see him play. I want real game film from him. So I want the entire bench in the ball game to the point where Dylan Raiola should not have a snap in the second half. When we start off the second half, we should be up 35-0, and we should have all the bench in. So that's my 4th key to the game. Number 5, stay freaking healthy. Stay healthy. No injuries for Nebraska. Nobody on offense, nobody on defense. Let's stay healthy. Let's play clean, and let's have fun out there and get a big victory versus Northern Iowa. So, once again, like normal, I will save my predictions till my Friday video. What's the score look like? What do the offensive and defensive MVPs look like? So, watch out for that one. But at the end of the day, Nebraska's going to win. Don't be shocked if it's a blowout or even a shutout. All right, guys, let me know down below. Are you pumped about Nebraska potentially starting off 3-0 versus the Panthers? Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far in the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, folks, go have a good, go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.